listen up. If you don't bring me back my panties by tomorrow, there'll be a flood of Prinny pattern thongs hitting store shelves.
I played Prinny 1 years ago when it was on the PSP. I enjoyed it, but I did find it frustrating. I was still looking forward though to the Switch release of Prinny 1 and 2 so I could check these games out. I hadn't played number 2, so I was looking forward to trying it out. So the basic premise of the game is it's a 2D platformer. You play as Prinny, those little creatures from Disgaea series. And in the first game, the aim of the game, the story is that you need to collect ingredients for your master's dessert. And in the second game, your master's underwear has been stolen and you need to go and find it. And so you go to these 10 different levels, facing off with lots of with different bosses to basically complete the level and get the item you need to return it to your master. That's the basic setup of the game. And so, like I said, you've got 1,000 lives. And so you can choose your difficulty for each of the games. So on Prinny 1, you can choose to make it so for each of those lives, you have 1 hit and then death, or you could choose to make it easier and have 3 hits and then death. On Prinny 2, you can choose to have 1, 2, or 3 hits. So you can decide how difficult you want it. I went with the basic level for both of them, just because I knew how frustrating and hard these games were. So I went with the 3 lives. It's 3 lives and then you lose a life. It's a little bit kind of hard to explain. So it's because it's even if you die, even if you lose those 3 lives or take those 3 hits, you still you start kind of right back at the next checkpoint. You never lose too much progress, even when you die. But when I first started playing the game, so I finished the first 3 levels on Prinny 1 really easily. I was actually kind of surprised. I thought, oh, this feels a lot easier. It's not that difficult. I was wondering, did they make the game easier, or was it just me that I'm just amazing at 2D platformers now? But I got to level 4 and the game started really kicking my ass. So I just kept on dying. There was a section in the first like 30 seconds of the level 4, and I just kept on dying. I lost like 30 of my little Prinny lives in that section. So it was at that point I realized, okay, no, this game is tough still. It was those first 3 levels kind of easing you in before you really realize that the game is tough. And it's pretty similar to Prinny 2 actually. The first few levels on Prinny 2 felt pretty easy. I lost lives, but not too many. But then it got really hard. And so, I do think these games are fun. They are enjoyable, but it is really frustrating sometimes. Especially, you have one section of a level and you lose like 20 lives. And it's just so frustrating. And, a lot of times what I would do is I'd play a level, I'd lose loads of lives, I'd figure out the level, and then I'd restart my save back with my kind of full complement of lives and start the level again. Because it was just, you kind of need to learn the level before you really kind of get into it. And I wanted to kind of save my lives so I can get to the end of the game. Because I knew I wouldn't be able to if I kind of just played it normally. The one thing I noticed about this game, and I don't remember it from the PSP, but I'm sure this was the same mechanic there, is that, and this caused a lot of deaths, is that when you jump, you can't course correct. So, like, if you jump straight up, you go up. You can't kind of move left or right as you descend or anything, like you could in some games. And you can double jump in the game, but, if you double jump and, you're going right or left, then you can't course correct. So, if there's like a missile coming at you or an enemy there, you will get hit because you can't change how you're jumping. And this was a little annoying, really. It was hard to get used to, and even I didn't feel I got used to it even after playing the games and playing both of the games. The same mechanic was in Prinny 2. It was just a little bit frustrating because you want to be able to change direction, you want to be able to kind of move away from danger, and so I felt like a lot of deaths was caused by this jumping mechanic. In terms of the soundtrack and the sound, the music was fine. It was, I didn't think it was particularly memorable for me, but the voice acting is really good. The game is actually really funny. The Prinnies themselves and they're kind of little panicky, scared dudes. They're really funny actually. So there were some moments I laughed out loud. So I did enjoy the voice acting and the humor in the game. Graphics wise, I felt like it is literally just a PSP game on a bigger screen. The edges of characters and the environments just looked a little fuzzy. They didn't look sharp. So it didn't seem like it's a huge kind of upgrade from what you had on the PSP. So, you know, for me, it feels like these two games are fun games. If you haven't played them on the PSP or you want to revisit them from the PSP, then I think this is a good little collection to get both games. But it doesn't feel like they've actually done much in terms of up-resing it or changing the actual PSP version. So, you know, I think I have enjoyed it at times, although I have found it very frustrating at times. And I think that's the thing you guys need to think about before you buy it, or if you want to kind of put time into it. You know, are you willing to go through that frustration? There is a great sense of accomplishment when you finally finish a level, or even just reaching the boss. Like when you reach the boss, I kind of just like, you know, sigh of relief, because it's almost I found the levels harder than the boss battles themselves. But yeah, it's a lot of frustration, but good sense of accomplishment. So you know, if that's something you're looking for, if you enjoy 2D platformers that are really challenging, then this is probably a game for you. So guys, let me know in the comments, have you picked up Prinny 1 and 2 on the Switch? Let me know what you think about it, leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.